Hello, everyone, and welcome to the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys.
Drew, I should have just said welcome to, not welcome back, because it's been way too long again. Consistency is not our strong suit, I will say.
So
Right now.
this is season 3. We just took a little hiatus.
I had season 5 probably at this point. We just skipped over 3 and 4. I will say though, there is an episode in the can that I think is the best one we've ever recorded. Unfortunately, though,
It will get us sued.
I don't know if it would get us sued. I think we were very fair with our commentary. But like you said, maybe a pay-to-play type pay-per-view, if you will,
I like
episode.
I like it.
Put out there.
Yeah, I like it.
But no, man, the title of this one is Sweet September, where we're into that golden time of year. And if you know, you know. I'm not going to say any more than that. And so far, it's delivered. It has delivered.
Yeah, it's been 8 or 9 days of near perfect weather. I mean, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it took a half day. Well, it's a whole day, but it ended up being a half day. Just to go and enjoy it for a little bit myself. Sometimes you just get caught up in the rat race and you don't get a chance to really enjoy it. So it took some time, and going to take some time here. It's Saturday night now, but going to take some time early next week too to relax and enjoy it.
Yeah, I was on the beach today. It was nice. Nice day.
I got down there for a few minutes. Benny's not feeling well. He's got a head cold. So I made him go jump in the ocean, try and clear it out a little bit. Get some of that vitamin C, as the Shoebies would say.
Glasses on?
No glasses on. Glasses off for this one.
I had Lulu down on the beach today.
He hasn't lost him yet. I'm going to knock on wood here.
Yeah.
So, Lulu, where? Like out front? Like in Ocean City Public? Dude, you are a rebel. You are a rebel, Drew.
Well, I'm really not. I
rebel.
I know I'm 2 weeks earlier, whatever the date is. But not enough people on the beach to bother. There were other dogs. I don't. I don't go near the beach in June, July, or August. Or at least halfway through June.
Were you walking with her, or were you sitting on the beach with her?
Sitting.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
There were several other dogs down there, and Lulu, she doesn't bother anybody.
No, she's just chilling. She's probably hot and just wants.
If it was crowded, I wouldn't have done it, but I got the report that the beach, which shall remain nameless, was not crowded, so I brought her down.
We just dropped. Lucy went to hang out with her buddy Mare at the promenade last week for gyros and certain things at the promenade. So get up there if you can.
This is their last week.
Last weekend for some of the stores. The pizza in the front store will stay open.
You didn't name the most important store.
Steak has been closed, man. It's been closed for a minute.
Oh, because did Roy leave?
Yeah, he went to Italy
already. Roy went to Italy, so that's why
Little Roy.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's we went to 8th Street because we were just right there. And 8th Street, it was high tide. There was about probably 20 feet of beach left, and it was packed.
Wow.
So
not where we were.
Yeah, there's
definitely not.
Like I said, only about 20 feet of beach left at high tide. So,
well, it's a beautiful day on the beach. Do we
water's warm?
Water's warm. Do we have a countdown, Don?
To Memorial Day?
Yes.
Hell no, man.
I meant to discuss that with you in pregame. I
am just enjoying this time right now.
All right, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and it's I'm going to throw out one of those nuggets that could or could not be true. I think we're 258 days. I think that's the number. Look at you. Look at you. We're back from hiatus and you're breaking the rules already. You're Googling.
It just gives me the date. It doesn't tell me. 20. What did you say? How many days?
258.
255.
Okay. I was close.
255 glorious days.
Until Memorial Day. 2005.
Well, before we get into, what next Memorial Day is going to look like, go ahead and give your shout outs here.
Okay. So first and foremost, all of us here at the OCNJ local would like to offer our sincere and heartfelt condolences to both the Beisler family from Upper Township and the Ortiz family from Vineland. This was just an unimaginable tragedy, and we're sick about this, as everyone is. So we offer our condolences to both families.
100%. I was thinking about this today.
I can't get it off my mind.
There's let's just say if you live here, there's an unspoken awkwardness between Ocean City and Upper Township. Always has been, for what it seems like there always will be. However, in events like this, that awkwardness goes aside and everybody comes together and we become that one community that, we really are, with our kids at the same high school and all that stuff. But, it is a shame and it is sad. And, I reached out to a few of the people I know over there, and it's just, their kids are shaken up. Everyone's shaken up. So
I'm sure.
Keep them in your thoughts and prayers, everyone.
And speaking of coming together, so my first actual shout out is to Raider Nation for showing their love to number 23 on Friday night at the Ocean City Raiders football game. They were originally, their theme was neon, and they changed it to gold and black for the Upper Township Indians team. And man, they came out with passion, and they did a great job at Friday night's football game. So shout out to Raider Nation and the thoughtfulness of those kids to do that. Right.
Should have, I'll tell you what, at halftime, there was this older gentleman filming them, and they went crazy.
I saw that occur, and he didn't look like an older gentleman to me.
I just left out handsome older gentleman,
spry.
Well, listen, he's in the know. Yeah. He always knows what's going on with Raider Nation every week. He's got all the inside connections, but he was out there with his phone, filming it in the wrong position at first. Then he had to switch it, and the kids sure went crazy for him. I'll tell you that much.
They did. They responded, and it was that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
So the second shout out is to the Raiders football team themselves, who are now 3-0 after their 21-14 win against Lenape, a good Lenape team.
Yes, very good.
Big.
Team.
They were a good team, and
explosive.
Ocean City did what it took to hold on for the 21-14 win.
Yeah, lots of fun plays, lots of big plays. It was big plays scored, especially for Lenape, and Ocean City had that big play in the fourth quarter. But yes. Ocean City, their lines are strong, and they have strong play up front from their kids. So
yeah, both sides of the ball.
So
I don't know if you overheard this, Dom, but Bruce on the sideline mentioned to me toward the end of the game, and I meant to reach out to Kevin and confirm it, but Ocean City intercepted the ball twice in that game, and Bruce believes it was number 23, Easton Geisler's number, who had both interceptions.
I believe you're correct, actually.
Wow, that's pretty wild and pretty cool.
I do believe that is correct, to be honest with you. Pretty,
and that's something.
Getting the goosebumps over here, Drew. Getting the goosebumps over here.
So congrats to the Raiders. Keep it rolling.
Yep. Another home game this Friday against Atlantic City.
So this starts kind of the real meat of their schedule. They have some tough games this year, and Atlantic City will be the start of it.
Yep.
Not that the other teams were easy games, but I think the schedule just gets harder.
So for people that don't know, Drew has been on the chain crew for the high school for some time, and he was kind enough to bring me into the fold a little bit last year when they needed a sub, and then I all of a sudden got thrust. I got the
called
honor,
up to the bigs.
The honor bestowed upon me to be the clip guy now, which is by far the greatest job in the chain gang.
It is. I had to push you out of the way a few times. You're just wandering around on the sideline.
Yeah, just stand there. But that Lenape team was definitely the best team they faced, the best coached, top to bottom. But no, it's fun to be on those sidelines, and it's cool to watch. It's a great view. So
it's a great vantage point, isn't it? It is cool
fun
to be there. Yeah.
So
Dom, I have some in terms of shout outs, I have some oldies just based on our hiatus, but I think two that are noteworthy, right?
Sure.
The first is to the Gillian family. We wanted to offer our condolences on the loss of Mayor Roy Gillian, founder of Gillian's Island and Wonderland Pier. By all accounts, a wonderful man and a true gentleman, and a very accomplished man in his life. And anytime a family loses their patriarch, it's tough and it's sad. So we wanted to offer our condolences to the Gillian family. And the second, we went over, this will be year 2 after pageant week. So we wanted to offer congratulations to the Ocean City Pageant Week winners. Miss Ocean City, Taylor Mulford.
Didn't we do this?
I'm sorry?
I thought we did this already.
Well, it's the one in the can, my friend.
Really?
No one has seen it.
Oh, well, yeah. By all means, congratulate these.
Yeah, I think it's worth it for these kids. They work hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's right. Your talent of catching things in the face was what it was. Now I remember. That was part of that great episode.
My talent for catching, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I asked you what your talent would be in the pageant. And you said it would be catching things with my face, because like that week at work, I believe you had caught like a 2x4, a door, and various other things.
Yeah, it was a tough week for me.
With your face.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
thankfully
it looks like you haven't done that. You know, it's funny because Ben was asking me something today, and I said, yeah, Fasy was a realtor. You always asking me if we were rich and stuff. And I'm like, I dance around that topic. I'm like, hey, listen, man, we got food on the table and a roof over our head. If you ask me, that's rich. And he goes, Fasy's rich. I'm like, yeah, he did really good as a realtor. And he goes, Fasy was a realtor? I go, he sold something with that face? That's what Ben, he said. He sold something looking like that? I was like, yeah, he sold quite a lot of stuff, actually.
Was that after Thursday by chance? Because I got him a good zinger on Thursday night. So that was probably payback.
Yeah, he was definitely paying you back a little bit, I'm sure. But,
my man. Okay, so Miss Ocean City, Taylor Mulford, Junior Miss Ocean City, Sarah Smith, Little Miss Ocean City, Tegan Vivarelli, Queen Infanta, Dom.
Yes, that was what we talked about before.
Yes, Queen Infanta, Marley Dwyer, and Queen Infanta presides over the baby parade. And Miss Crustacean, Julia Schneider.
Fantastic.
So congrats to all the Ocean City pageant week winners.
Fantastic.
And finally, the final shout out is to Second Ward Councilman Keith Hartzell for the friggin' mess he found himself in.
Woo!
This is actually, I think this is a really funny story. So Keith Hartzell, on the day he was sworn into office, which was July 1st, I think, announced his first second ward meeting, the first meeting that he'd have for the second ward, and he announced the date. It was September 14th, which was today. So, 2 weeks ago or so, he put an announcement out that he's holding this meeting, second ward meeting, anything to do with the second ward, as all ward councilmen do. It's a standard operating procedure. They have a couple a year. And he was having it at the Tabernacle Baptist Church at 8th and West. So some woman, I don't know who she is, he does. She has a second home in Ocean City, I believe. She lives somewhere in Pennsylvania. She took it upon herself. I'm sorry?
The story's checking out so far.
Yeah. So she took it upon herself to take his announcement and put it on a couple of the, put it on Facebook on her own page, but she also shared it with some of these Ocean City pages. And she turned it into a public meeting about Wonderland Pier, about what the plan was for Wonderland Pier, and made the statement that the owner of the property, Eustace Mita, was going to attend the meeting and announce his plans for the property.
Wow.
So
wow.
Obviously it went viral. And if you
Ocean
know
City viral.
Well, I think it went a little bit bigger than Ocean City viral, because you had you had some of these groups that got set up, Save the Ferris Wheel, Save Wonderland Pier, and it wasn't just Ocean City people involved in that. We'll get to that in a second.
No.
Yeah, we'll get to it. It was thousands of people. So Keith is trying to do damage control, and he called the woman. I don't know how he got her number, but he called her. He, was kind of like, what are you doing? This is just a regular old second ward meeting. Can you please, take this off of Facebook? I don't think she was 100% successful, because she's not an admin of the pages, but she took it off of her own. Well, in the meantime, 2 media outlets saw the post and wrote articles about it without ever talking to Keith and getting verification or any kind of proof of what was going on.
Why would a journalist try to validate a story?
In today's world, it doesn't happen.
How would you do
that? So it grew even bigger when these 2 South Jersey media outlets picked it up.
I shared it with you, actually. I was like, "Yo, we're going to this. We should go live from here if this is going to happen."
Right.
Yeah.
So he called the media outlets, and true to form, they told him that they would change the article to reflect the facts, which they did, but they wouldn't change the headline of the story because it was getting so much attention. They didn't want to stop the clicks. Yeah. So I mean, if that doesn't tell you something about today's media, then nothing will, right? But so we had the meeting today. I meant to text him or call him. So I don't know how it went. He tried to clarify, and I'm sure it got out to a number of people, but it didn't get out to everybody, because you didn't know it as of, what was that, Wednesday night? You and I were talking Thursday night.
No, we talked about it like a couple of weeks ago, and you told me that it was just a second ward council meeting.
Oh, maybe it was last week. I was talking to somebody this past week, and they were planning on going, not knowing that it was just a second ward meeting, and they don't live in the second ward. So I'll bet they had a huge turnout, and people were probably just all fired up and ready to string Eustace Mita from the rafters, right? And
So I did see one post on one of the forums today. I got off, so trying to stay away from it for a little while. And it was a person who has rented in Ocean City for 50 years, flipping out. We missed an opportunity to save Wonderland. I can't believe I came all the way here. And I went to the Tabernacle where they told me it was going to be. but it was at this Baptist church and the line was out the door and no one said when we were going to talk about Wonderland, and it was 90 degrees in there, and this was an opportunity to save Wonderland. And I'm just like, dude, like, look, I got to level with everyone here. Wonderland is 95% done. Like,
there's no saving Wonderland.
Yeah, there's no saving Wonderland. You have $1.8 million in tax liens between the state and federal governments. You have rides that are probably 70 years old. Like, legitimately, like, there were people posting pictures of, hey, here's me in this ride. Here's my kids. Here's my grandkids in this ride. Right? Like, what are we trying to save here? I get it. I get the nostalgia behind it. I get everything about it. It's not coming back. And no one is going to go in and save it. Like, no one's coming in with the $2 million to pay off the taxes, the probably $2 to $5 million to update the park and rides. And then you got to operate it, make some money. You're $8 million in the hole before you even open up your doors. Like, when the
mayor's... it's privately owned property.
And it's like,
even if a wealthy benefactor said, I don't want to see that park go away, I'll fix the rides. The property is owned by another entity. The property is owned by a private citizen. You can't force saving Wonderland. We don't know what Eustace Meada's plans are. There's speculation, lots of speculation, but he's a businessman. He'll make a decision or decisions based on what's best, right? What's best business-wise. Hopefully he considers what's best for Ocean City. Hopefully he considers what's best for the boardwalk, but he makes that decision. Somebody on Facebook starting a GoFundMe page is not going to save Wonderland.
Yeah.
Dorothy's not out there clicking her heels together saying, please save Wonderland, please save Wonderland.
And like, you expecting to go to the city to save Wonderland, like, the city has been tied to Wonderland forever. Like, the family have been mayors for generations, and the pier is there. Like, the city can't save Wonderland any more than it already has. Like, what do you want? Like, all right, well, let's buy the land back from Eustace. Like, come on. Like, I'm sorry. I hate to see it go. Like,
we're all sad about
history there. Like, I'm not happy that it's going to go away, but like, let's just embrace the fact, hey, something's going to change and it's going to look different next Memorial Day, whether it's dark there or whatever. I doubt Eustace is going to say, oh, I'm going to keep running the amusements until then. Cause between anyone that's been there in the past 5 years is like, well, what the hell is going on here? This is an amusement park. It's more like a state fair, but like, there's two things that people care about that need to be saved there. The first one is the Ferris wheel, and the second one is the carousel. And if the city wants to step in and people want to come in and do anything to save anything, those are the two things that the city needs to save. And what I think the city should do is, with the Ferris wheel, you have the Dunes and Beach, where Eustace originally proposed to build his hotel. It's city owned. There's 6 sand volleyball courts there right now. Put up a deck, put up a platform or a structure in that area that can support the weight of the Ferris wheel, and move the Ferris wheel over there. Update it, get the lights working again, because right now there's just some floodlights shining on it and it looks cheesy as crap. Fix that, fix the motors, move it over there, and yeah, the city, you're going to eat it, charge $5 a ride a person, But there you go. You keep the Ferris wheel. The skyline stays relatively the same. The Ferris wheel is just over to the north a little bit more. And, you know, you have the
great
Ferris wheel.
idea, Dom. It's a great concept.
Like,
if it could be done, I hope it will be done.
And I feel it can be done. And I think, you know, Eustis is putting up, you know, its proposed hotel is $150 million. At that point, $152 million to fix the Ferris wheel and move it. If the city decides to, you know, work with the city there, get something going where like, hey, you build the platform, I'll pay to move it and fix it. You know, something along those lines. Get it back up, get it operational. Once they move it and fix it, though, the city, it's on you. You figure it out from there. And the second thing they need to save is that carousel. That carousel is older than dirt. You know, that's one of the iconic rides there, though. You know, the boats, yeah, that's an iconic ride too. That can be retired. The carousel, I think they should take and put it in the park next to across the street from City Hall on 9th Street, right there. So on the corner of 9th and Asbury, there's that park there. If you put that carousel right there, you might have to build a little structure around it so that it's contained in the wintertime. You know, but if you made like an open garage door structure where you could open it up and make it look nice and have some design to it, you could move the carousel there. It would be an attraction downtown, people to go to. You know, I was on the Avenue today, dropping off invoices at City Hall for the Junior Raiders. Karen, those are paid if you listen. And there's a ton of people out there. It would be a great spot to put that carousel. There's families there. You know, it'd be a great photo opportunity. Right now, there's a little gazebo there. But I think if you put the carousel there, you're saving the two most iconic things in Wonderland that people want. And at that point, like, all right, guys, you got your pieces of Wonderland that mean something to you. They're in different parts of the city. They're saved. You can put up little plaques and say, hey, you know, this is the carousel from Wonderland. Hey, this is the Ferris wheel from Wonderland. Put a picture, have a tribute to the Gillian family for all they've done and for the city and everything like that. And, you know, there you go. You got your pieces of Wonderland. Let Eustis come in and do his thing.
I think it's a great idea, Dom.
Well, you know, listen, we'll see. City government and, you know, great ideas sometimes go hand in hand. Sometimes they don't. You know, I do think, though, that those are the two things you save. And from my perspective, I think those are two great locations for it where, you know, if Eustis and the city partnered together, they could, you know, like you said in the very beginning, people were probably coming there to, you know, give Eustis a hard time and say, hey, you know, don't change our town, all this stuff. Like,
right.
You know, well, hey, I'm going to change your town. I'm going to keep a little bit of your town, though, too, because I get it. I understand it. I live here, too. I'm a resident, too, you know, but I'm a businessman and I didn't pay Jay $8 million for the land to sit there and keep a failing business on it.
So on this same topic, not the Ferris wheel and the merry-go-round, but on Wonderland. So at this past week's city council, Fourth Ward Councilman Dave Winslow brought up the fact that he has been, as have all the city councilmen, been somewhat inundated with questions and all the speculation and rumors that are out there that he wanted to address regarding if a hotel was built on the Wonderland property. And again, let's be clear. Eustis Mita, after Jay Gillian announced he was closing the park, said he was going to take 6 months to make a decision on what he was going to propose for that property. So we don't know, as of right now, we don't know what's going on. The speculation is that he wants to build a hotel. Okay. So Dave Winslow addressed head on the rumor that if he were to build a hotel that has 100 rooms or more, that he could automatically get a liquor license. And according to Dave, who ran it by Dottie and Dottie McCrossin, who's the city solicitor, she confirmed this. It is not automatic. In the state of New Jersey, municipalities can issue liquor licenses based on the number of residents in the town. So you have, I don't know what the formula is. I don't know what Ocean City would qualify if they were to give it, sell liquor licenses. But based on our year-round population, there's some number of liquor licenses that would be allowable by the state, not by the city, but the state. So let's say it's 3. That would be the maximum. A hotel could get a variance to get above that maximum with 100 rooms or more if approved by the city and the state. So the question was, well, we have 0. Is 0 our maximum? And the answer was no. The maximum is what's allowable by the state based on population. So they couldn't get a liquor license based on that regulation that everybody's saying is fact, that they automatically get a liquor license. They do not. That's number 1. Number 2, keep in mind that every property in Ocean City, when it was laid out, has a deed restriction. Yours does, mine does, every property in Ocean City has a deed restriction banning the sale of intoxicants. And I believe it's the word intoxicants is used, which is kind of interesting given that New Jersey now you can sell
weed,
right?
Yeah.
So they didn't say the sale of alcohol in 1879. They said the sale of intoxicants. So it's not possible to sell weed in Ocean City either. But that's another hurdle, is that there's a deed restriction. Further, if they somehow got past those 2 hurdles, it would come down to a vote by city council. City council would have to vote to allow a liquor license. And, there's always the concern is you don't know the makeup of city council. My belief, and Dave Winslow made his position pretty clear, and I know all the council people, and I believe that there's no way that there are 4 current council people who would vote in a liquor license in the city of Ocean City. I don't think there are any, but there certainly are not 4 city councilmen that would vote to allow alcohol sales in Ocean City. I know that for a fact.
So if you look at the restriction in the language there, the sale of intoxicants, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can give you intoxicants, though. I don't have to buy it. Like, you don't have to buy it from me. So, like, what I see him doing, and now you have all these eating clubs pop up all the time. Like, for instance, the Betts Room on Asbury, next to right in the old Chatterbox building, the Betts Room. It's a restaurant. You make a reservation there, and there's a $25 fee to make that reservation, and you become a member of the Betts Room Eating Club. So then you can bring your own alcohol to that restaurant. That's how it works there. So meat is going to do the same thing,
But that's a BYOB. That's a private club. So there's some.
If I check into the hotel, and when I purchase, I said, "Oh, I want the premium alcohol package at the hotel." Who's to say they can't just go buy you the alcohol and bring it to you, and then it's yours, and then
you're Dom. I think you're diving into that conspiracy theory world that so many on social media are.
Listen, I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. Like, if you said I want the premium alcohol package, you're not selling the alcohol. Like, you're just saying, oh yeah, well, here's a service that we provide for you, like getting delivery or food or concierge or something along those lines. Like if you have
what I'm saying is, I think I don't think there's enough of a premium for a hotel like that to just sell, have hotel guests purchase from Circle Liquors and have their booze brought into a club type setting. There's not enough money to be made there to make that risk worthwhile.
So where the money comes in is you bring in your booze, or you pay for your premium package, right? And then at dinner, at a restaurant, at a bar, or whatever, you have a bartender there who is mixing your drinks for you and serving you, but it's your alcohol. They're not selling you anything. And if they're selling you anything and they're charging you anything, they're charging you for the mixers that they're putting in your drink. And there you have it, Drew. That's how you're making money.
There's not enough there, Dom. Come on, you've worked at a bar.
I have worked at a bar. There. There is there. So there is money there. If you're sending in and let's say you could charge, I'm not saying you're going to charge like a casino rate for a bottle of Tito's or something like that, but you can get a bottle of Tito's for what, like, I don't know, I haven't drank in 4 years, but like, it's probably what, like $35. You charge someone $50, you're making $15 on that bottle. And then when they have it at their table, let's say you're drinking vodka crayons, every time you get a vodka crayon, it's $5. You're getting like 20 or, and say you have 2 or 3 of them, there's another 30 or $40 right there. There's still money to be made, and there's still a way to do it where you could have people bring in their own alcohol and then charge them a service fee or something like that. That's what a lot of BYOBs do. Like, they'll have a corkage fee, or if you want to go to a restaurant and bring your own wine, you can have a corkage fee of $50, $100 to open the bottle for you. So like,
I think you should be, while you're explaining this, you should put some tinfoil on your head.
I don't think so, Drew. I think that there's a viable business there.
I don't think so. I think that's a stretch, and I think it would be easy enough for the city to shut down. Is that a public space?
They're not shutting down all these other places. You got to be a hotel guest to dine.
And they're purposely not, right? They're not, because it's they haven't really crossed that line. It's not a big enough issue for the city to worry about. If it becomes a big enough issue for the city to worry about, they'll step in and shut down. So when you're talking,
you have a section, you have a just like in the old days when you had a smoking section and a non-smoking section. You have a member section, you have a non-member section.
Yeah, I think that would be a situation where if that's being allowed on the boardwalk and it starts attracting the general public as opposed to more than just the hotel guests, because that's the other difference too. You could have a hotel guest and maybe that works, and maybe there's I don't think that the money is there for that to work. So you'd have to have the general public have access and become members. That's when it becomes a problem, and that's when the city comes in and shuts it down. And they would shut all of them down. So I don't think that while it could be a workaround, I don't think that would happen.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, it's, again, we have a couple months to wait till Eustace gives us his plan. So, we could sit here and speculate and try and figure out.
And that's really all it is. And that was my point, is that these rumors that he's going to build a hotel and it's going to be more than 100 rooms and it's automatically going to be issued a liquor license is just absolutely not true. So there's a lot of chicken littles in there who have no problem acting as if they know and putting that nonsense on social media.
Well, I mean, look at this council meeting today. They got blown up and hijacked, and honestly, I wanted to go because I live in the second ward. I had a couple of things I wanted to mention, like, hey, on 8th Street, let's get a crosswalk or something to cross 8th Street. Like, I don't think we need a whole hawk signal.
What intersection?
I don't know. Somewhere, like, I'm thinking maybe like Haven there, like by the park. That one, like,
that would
there, like, give us like the flashing button crosswalk so people can get to the Acme safely. Unfortunately, a gentleman was hit there, I believe on Labor Day or the day after Labor Day. and then looking into putting a traffic light. I know Bay Avenue is owned by the county, but looking to put in a traffic light at either 5th Street in Bay or 3rd Street in Bay, because those are the two places where there's a lot of, I understand the one on 6th Street because there used to be an entrance to the parking lot on 6th Street. Well, that entrance isn't there anymore. It's now only a 5th Street entrance at the parking lot down there. So a lot of more people are coming out of 5th Street, and it's a hot spot for accidents because the parking's right up to the curbs there, and you could
visibility poor, activity's high.
Yeah,
I totally agree with you.
And 3rd Street is another place where activity has picked up a lot lately, where we could use just I don't want it. It's going to slow my trip down to Dog Beach every day. If it keeps people safe though, like that's ultimately what the most important thing is. And obviously we can make those flashing yellows in the wintertime if we needed to. But during those peak summertime, it's like, whoa, I'm almost getting hit at 5th Street. And then 2 blocks later, it's like, whoa, I'm almost getting hit again from people trying to get to the marina. Like,
you're right. They're rough spots. They're high activity.
Yeah. And that 8th Street area, like there's just got to be a safe place for people to cross there. Like, going to the Acme, people coming into that Acme are coming in hot, like constantly, and a lot of people cross right at, to try and get right into the Acme right there.
Yeah.
Because there's no designated place. So, but, that would be Keith, if you listen, that my 2 proposals there for the 2nd ward. I didn't have time to wait in the line.
Hit him up.
I don't want
to listen to you.
Yeah. I'm sure he will. He actually, congratulations to him. He picked up a new spot in the 2nd ward. So good for him. From what I hear, my buddy's his neighbor now. So God bless Keith, because that dude is a trip. But no, man, it's going to be an interesting winter here, and we still got to try and reach out to Mr. Me to see if we can get him to come join us and give us a little taste here of what he might be thinking. So, man, we might get more than 100 listens to then, 100 viewers then.
We have a couple of people who have asked to come on to the show for
smart people
for various reasons.
Smart people.
We're gonna have we'll schedule some guests in the next week or two. So we had the police chief and the fire chief. No, we didn't have the police chief on, but we were planning on. Then he retired. We have a new police chief. We have a new fire chief. Maybe we should have them on. Dan Kelcher, the head of community services. He would like to come on and talk about some things that are going on in the city, including what they're doing at the senior center. So the senior center and the community center was taken over by the city. I don't know, 6 months ago or so now.
Yeah, and beginning of the year.
My sister goes there 4 days a week and
gets the hot lunch.
They are doing, from all accounts that I've heard, they are doing a wonderful job at that senior center and really have
a couple more years. You can go for yourself.
I sure could. I sure could.
A couple more years.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'll be happy to make it to be able to go there. So, you never know in this day and age. So, but yeah, no, I was there. I was working from the library a few times when it first started, and they were working out their growing pains, and even in that process, though, it was still crowded. It was still packed. They still had a good draw, and people were talking about how they did like the activities and the atmosphere.
And they've really increased and improved the activities. They have senior exercise. Dance, lots of stuff for the seniors, which is that was the goal, right? We have a significant percentage of seniors in Ocean City, so the city wanted to serve them.
There we go,
in a good and positive way.
Nice.
Well, all right, so we have some things to talk about coming up.
Oh, listen, here's one we'll revive that we haven't revived in a while, and we'll have to get a picture of this young, dapper gentleman, but dog of the day. My dog of the day this week is one Mr. Ziggy, a small, tiny, little French bulldog who recently joined the clan at one of our previous guests, Mr. Ken Wisniewski's house. Little Ziggy, he is
joined Merlot and
Oliver
and Ollie,
aka the Chunk. I don't think they ever made it to dog of the day.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, Ziggy's the man. He's a good little dude.
Yeah.
And Raquel and Sean, the breeders, were down this week. Really great people. Really take care of their dogs. If you're looking for a French bulldog, hit us up. They have some beautiful dogs that are, just great dogs all around, top to bottom.
Yeah, they are. They're cool dogs.
But anyway, we will end it on that note because we'll have to put a picture up of Ziggy because he is way better looking than both of us combined, which isn't very hard, but, still. So we'll try and be more consistent. I don't know how we're going to do that, Drew. The Junior Raiders football season kicks off this weekend. It's fast and furious from there until, fingers crossed, the middle to end of November for us.
The demand is out there, Dom. The demand is there. People are demanding more.
You know why? You know why? That's because we're keeping the supply real low. We got the supply low to keep the demand high.
I have a cure. We can shorten up the episodes and
True.
do them.
True. How many times have we said we're not going to talk for 50 minutes? How many times? And if you look up in the corner, we're right there, 50 minutes again. It's not going to happen. What we have to do, I think, is can do one or two at a time.
But all right, so we're going to try to add consistency to Dom's life. Maybe we can add some discipline to Dom's life. Record more often, shorter recordings. Listen, I know I'm loading it on there, bud. I know I'm piling on.
Well, aren't consistency and discipline the same thing, just in a different word, really?
No, they can be applied different. We can be consistent without.
I guess you can be. That's true.
Discipline to be consistent.
Okay, I like that. We'll end on that.
We'll end on that. So
something for people to think about. Something for people to think about. All right, everyone. Well, thanks as always for joining us. We appreciate your time, and we'll be back maybe soon. Who knows? Depends on if we're consistent or disciplined. Peace.